Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am MK Jabintaj. Today in this video I am giving you the knowledge about the fourth module of the subject OOC Object Oriented Concepts for 4th SEM CSE CBCS BTU students. I am dedicating this video to all the students all over the world. Now let us begin. Module 4 Packages and Interfaces. Packages in Java is a mechanism to encapsulate a group of classes, interfaces, and sub-packages. To create a package is quite easy. Simply include a package command as the first statement in the Java source file. Any classes declared within that file will belong to the specified package. The package statement defines a namespace in which classes are stored. If you omit the package statement, the class names are put into the default package which has no name. This is the general form of package statement. See here, package pkj semicolon. Java uses file system directories to store packages. For example, the .class files for any classes you declare to be part of my package must be stored in a directory called my package. You can create a hierarchy of packages. See here syntax and the example. Now let us see advantages of using a package. Reusability of code is one of the most important requirements in the software industry. Reusability saves time, effort, and also ensures consistency. A class once developed can be reused by any number of programs wishing to incorporate the class in the particular program. Easy to locate the files. In real life situation, there may arise a scenario where we need to define files of the same name. This may lead to namespace collisions. Packages are a way of avoiding namespace collisions. Packages are categorized into two forms: built-in package, existing Java package, for example java.lang, java.util, etc. User-defined package, Java package created by user to categorized classes and interface. See the figure. How to compile and run Java package. If you are not using any IDE, you need to follow this. See this compile and run. How to access package from another package? There are three ways to access the package from outside the package. Import package dot class name, fully qualified name. Using package name. If you use a package, then all the classes and interfaces of this package will be accessible but not sub packages. The import keyword is used to make the classes and interface of another package accessible to the current package. See the example here, code. Secondly, using package name dot class name. If you import package dot class name, then only declared class of this package will be accessible. See the code here. See the code. Now let us see 3. Using fully qualified name. If you use fully qualified name, then only declared class of this package will be accessible. Now there is no need to import, but you need to use fully qualified name every time when you are accessing the class or the interface. See the code here. See the continuation of the code. Now let us see access specifiers. Private, accessible only in the class. Default, so-called package access, accessible only in the same package. Protected, accessible, inherited by subclasses and accessible by code in the same package. Public, accessible anywhere the class is accessible and inherited by subclasses. Notice that private protected is not syntactically legal. See the table here. Now let us see multi-threaded programming. Thread. A thread is a lightweight sub-process, a smallest unit of processing. It is a separate path of execution. Threads are independent. If there occurs exception in one thread, it doesn't affect other threads. It shares a common memory area. See the figure. Java provides built-in support for multi-threaded programming. The process of executing multi-threads simultaneously is known as multi-threading. A multi-threaded program contains two or more parts that can run concurrently. Each part of such a program is called a thread, and each thread defines a separate path of execution. Thus, multi-threading is a specialized form of multitasking. Now let us see multitasking. Multitasking is a process of executing multiple tasks simultaneously. We use multitasking to utilize the CPU. Multitasking can be achieved by two ways: process-based multitasking, multiprocessing; thread-based multitasking, multithreading. Process-based multitasking or multiprocessing. Each process have its own address in memory. That is, each process allocates separate memory area. Process is heavyweight. Cost of communication between the process is high. Switching from one process to another requires some time for saving and loading registers, memory maps, updating lists, etc. Less efficient. Now let us see thread-based multitasking or multi-threading. Threads shares the same address space. Thread is lightweight. Cost of communication between the threads is low, highly efficient. Multi-threading has several advantages over multiprocessing, such as threads are lightweight compared to processors. Threads share the same address space and therefore can share both data and code. Context switching between threads is usually less expensive than between processors. The cost of thread intercommunication is relatively low than that of process intercommunication. Threads allow different tasks to be performed concurrently. An instance of thread class is just an object like any other object in Java, but a thread of execution means an individual lightweight process that has its own call stack. In Java, each thread has its own call stack. See the figure. Now let us see the main thread. When a Java program starts up, one thread begins running immediately. This is usually called the main thread of your program because it is the one that is executed when your program begins. The main thread is important for two reasons. It is the thread from which other child thread will be spawned. Often it must be last thread to finish execution because it performs various shutdown actions. Now let us see life cycle of a thread states. See the figure here, diagram. The life cycle of a thread in Java is controlled by JVM. The Java thread states are as follows: new, runnable, running, non-runnable, blocked, terminated. Let us see new. The thread is in a new state if you create an instance of thread class but before the invocation of start method. Runnable. When we call start function on thread object, its state is changed to runnable. The control is given to thread scheduler to finish its execution, whether to run this thread instantly or keep it in runnable thread pool before running depends on the OS implementation of thread scheduler. Now let us see running. When thread is executing, its state is changed to running. Thread scheduler picks one of the thread from the runnable thread pool and change its state to running. The CPU starts executing this thread. A thread can change state to runnable, dead or blocked from running state depends on time slicing, thread completion of run method, or waiting for some resources. Now let us see non-runnable or blocked. This is the state when the thread is still alive but is currently not eligible to run, waiting. Sometimes a thread transitions to the waiting state while the thread waits for another thread to perform a task. A thread transitions back to the runnable state only when another thread signals the waiting thread to continue its execution. Terminated. A thread is terminated or dead state when its run method exits. Now let us see thread creation. When the thread starts, it schedules the time slots for several subthreads and the JVM scheduler schedules the time slot to every thread based on round robin technique or priority based. Now let us see method and description. String getName retrieves the name of the running thread in the current context in the string format. Void start. This method will start a new thread of execution by calling run method of thread or runnable object. Void run. This method is the entry point of the thread. Execution of the thread starts from this method. Void sleep int sleep time. This method is suspend the thread for mentioned time duration in argument sleep time in MS. Void yield. By invoking this method, the current thread pass its execution temporarily and allow other threads to execute. Void join. This method used to queue up a thread in execution. Once call on thread, current thread will wait till calling thread completes its execution. There are two ways to create a thread in Java. Implement the runnable interface java.lang runnable by extending the thread class java.long.thread. Extending thread class creates a thread by a new class that extends thread class. This creates an instance of that class. The extending class must override run method, which is the entry point of a new thread. See the code here. Thread is running. Now let us see implementing a runnable interface. The easiest way to create a thread is to create a class that implements the runnable interface. After implementing runnable interface, the class needs to implement the run method, which is of form public void run. Run method introduces a concurrent thread into your program. This thread will end when run returns. You must specify the code for your thread inside run method. Run method can call other methods, can use other classes and declare variables just like any other normal method. After you create a class that implements enable, you will instantiate an object of type thread. From within that class, thread define several constructors. The one that we will use is shown here. See the syntax. In this constructor thread, OB is an instance of a class that implements the runnable interface. This defines where execution of the thread will begin. The name of the new thread is specified by the thread name. See the example here. See the continuation of the code. Creating multiple threads by implementing runnable interface. See the continuation of the code here. See the continuation. Notice that call to sleep 10,000 in main. This causes thread B and A to sleep from 10 seconds and ensures that it will finish last. Now write a Java application program for generating 3 threads to perform the following operations: reading n numbers, printing prime numbers, computing average of n numbers. Now let us see isAlive and join methods. In Java, isAlive and join are two different methods to check whether a thread has finished its execution. There is alive method returns true if the thread upon which it is called is still running, otherwise it returns false. Final boolean is alive. See the code here. See the continuation of the code and output. But join method is used more commonly than isAlive. This method waits until the thread on which it is called terminates. See the syntax here. Using join method, we tell our thread to wait until the specified thread completes its execution. There are overloaded versions of join method which allows us to specify time for which you want to wait for the specified thread to terminate. See the code. See the continuation of the code. In the above program, join method on the thread T1 ensures that T1 finishes its process before thread 2 starts, specifying time with join. If the above program we specify time while using join with T1, then T1 will execute for that time and then T2 will join it. Now let us see synchronization. At times when more than one thread try to access a shared resource, we need to ensure that a resource will be used by only one thread at a time. The process by which this is achieved is called synchronization. The synchronization keyword in Java creates a block of code referred to as a critical section. Key to synchronization is the concept of a monitor. A monitor is an object that is used as a mutually exclusive lock. Only one thread can own a monitor at a given time. When a thread acquires a lock, it is said to have entered the monitor. All other threads attempting to enter the locked monitor will be suspended until the first thread exits the monitor. These other threads are said to be waiting for the monitor. Why use synchronization? The synchronization is mainly used to prevent thread interfaces, to prevent consistency problem. Thread synchronization and mutual exclusive. There are two types of thread synchronization: mutual exclusive and inter-thread communication. In mutual exclusive, synchronized method, synchronized block, static synchronization. Using synchronized blocks. Synchronized block can be used to perform synchronization on any specific resource of the method. Synchronized block is used to lock an object for any shared resource. Scope of the synchronized block is smaller than the method. See the general syntax here. See the continuation of the code here. See the continuation of the code with output here. Using synchronized methods. If you declare any method as synchronized, it is known as synchronized method. Synchronized method is used to lock an object for any shared resource. When a thread invokes a synchronized method, it automatically acquires the lock for that object and releases it when the thread completes its task. See the code here. See the continuation of the code here. The continuation of the code with output here. In computing the producer-consumer problem, also known as the bounded buffer problem, is a classic example of a multi-process synchronization problem. The problem describes two processes, the producer and the consumer, which shares a common fixed size buffer used as a queue. The producer's job to generate data, put it into the buffer and start again. At the same time, the consumer is consuming the data, that is removing it from the buffer one piece at a time. Now let us see the solution. This problem can be implemented or solved by different ways in Java. Classical way is using wait and notify method to communicate between producer and consumer thread and blocking each of them on individual condition like full queue and the empty queue. Wait tells the calling thread to give up the monitor and go to sleep until some other thread enters the same monitor and calls notify or notify all. Notify wakes up a thread that called wait on the same object. Notify all wakes up all the threads that can wait on the same object. One of the threads will be granted access. These methods are declared within object as shown here. Final void wait throws interrupted exception. Final void notify. Final void notify all. See the code here. See the continuation of the code here. See the continuation of the code here. See the continuation of the code with output here. Now let us see bounded buffer problem. Bounded buffer problem, which is also called producer consumer problem, is one of the classic problem of synchronization. Problem statement: there is a buffer of n slots and each slot is capable of storing 1 unit of data. There are two processes running, namely producer and the consumer, which are operating on the buffer. See the figure. A producer tries to insert data into an empty slot of the buffer. A consumer tries to remove data from from a filled slot in the buffer. As you might have guessed by now, those two processes won't produce the expected output if they are being executed concurrently. There needs to be a way to make the producer and the consumer work in an independent manner. See the code here. See the continuation of the code here. See the continuation of the code here. Here, see the continuation of the code with output. Now, let us see reader's writer problem. Reader's writer problem is another example of a classic synchronization problem. There are many variants of this problem, one of which is examined below. Problem statement: there is a shared resource which should be accessed by multiple processes. There are two types of processes in this context. They are reader and the writer. Any number of readers can read from the shared resource simultaneously, but only one writer can write to the shared resource. When a writer is writing data to this resource, no other process can access the resource. A writer cannot write to the resource if there are non-zero number of readers accessing the resource. Solution: from the above problem statement, it is evident that readers have higher priority than writers. If a writer wants to write to the resource, it must wait until there are no readers currently accessing that resource. Refer any sample program for reader-writer problem.